Okay, in this exercise, we're going to be looking at issuing common stock, buying back treasury stock, and paying cash dividends. So let's start by reading the exercise and seeing what opening information we have, as in what information is carried over from the previous year. So we have PowerDrive Corporation that designs and produces a line of golf equipment and golf apparel. They have 10,000 shares of common stock outstanding at the beginning of 2024. So the common shares that we have outstanding at the beginning of the year, they're telling us we already have, sorry, not 10,000, 100,000 shares. These were already issued and outstanding. On March 1st, we issued an additional 65,000 shares. So I have new issue or additional issue of 65,000 shares. The par value is $1 for these shares. I sold them for $62 per share. So let me go ahead and write my date. I received cash. I've sold stock. The par value is only $1. I sold 65 shares. So it's going to be $65,000. That's 65,000 shares times $1 per share. The cash I collected is $62 per share. 62 times 65,000. I'll have, that's the amount of cash I've collected. Now, the additional paid in capital is an extra $61 per share for the 65,000. So let me write that down over here on the side so we can see this. This is 65,000 shares times $1. And this is 65,000 shares times $61. It was issued for $62 per share. We issued 65,000 shares. So obviously this number is 65,000 times 62. Then we are told on May 10th, we bought back 6,000 shares of treasury stock for $65 per share. So at this time, we buy back shares. So when we buy back those shares, they are no longer outstanding. So what's the new number that I have for outstanding? I have 159. I started the year with 100,000 shares. I issued 65,000, so I had 165,000 outstanding. I bought back 6, so I'm down to 159. So let's do the journal entry for buying back the shares. I'm buying back shares, so I pay cash, $65 per share, 6,000 shares. So I'm buying 6,000 shares, and I'm paying $65 per share that I'm buying back. That's $390,000. 6,000 times $65 per share. And that is, once it comes back to me, I call it treasury stock. I'm not going to call it common stock. The treasury stock is saying I hold it. I know what I have issued. I've issued 165, but 6 is held in treasury. Therefore, I have 159 outstanding. On June 1st, I declared cash dividends of $2 per share for everyone who holds the share on June 15th. So 2 weeks from today, whoever's the shareholder, I'm going to give them $2 per share. They're giving you a hint. Dividends are not paid on treasury stock. I won't pay it on these 6,000. So this number is very important over here now for me. So I will record a liability in my books. I'll have dividends debit, dividends payable credit. These 159,000 shareholders, I'm going to give them $2 per share. So that is $319,000. It says 159 times $2. That's how much I'm going to pay out in dividends. June 15th, I check who is the stockholder. They are the ones who are going to get the dividends, but I don't need to do any journal entry. I'm just writing this over here so that you know on June 15th, there is no journal entry. On July 1st, I pay the dividends. This liability that I have is no longer in my books. I debit the liability and I credit cash because I'm paying the dividends today. So that's taken off my books. The liability is taken off my books. My shareholders got their $2 per share. Next, I'm told that on October 21st, of these 6,000 shares that I had bought, I sold half of them, 3,000. I sold it for $70 per share. I had bought them back at $65 per share. I'm now going to sell it for half of them for $70 per share. So first let me write my date. I'm selling it. I'm receiving cash. I'm receiving 3,000 shares. 3,000 of my treasury shares that I'm selling. 3,000. I'm selling them for $70 a piece. So that's the 210,000. The treasury stock that I'm taking off my books, the same 3,000 treasury stock. In my books, I have it at $65. That's what I paid for it. So that's how much I can take it off at. So the extra money I got, the $5 extra that I got, that's going to be credited to additional paid in capital. I got $5 extra. I had bought it at 65. I'm selling it for 70. So essentially, this is extra money that I got from the new shareholders. So again, in this exercise, a couple things to keep in mind. Dividends are paid only on the outstanding shares. Anytime you sell the shares above par value, you credit additional paid in capital. When you resell your treasury stock, compare it to what you bought it at, and that's the additional paid in capital.